King keeps up the cash. Gary B, the casual comic guy here, and joining me just like almost every Thursday, we got my good buddy Digger Jim. Jim, what is up tonight, good sir?
Man, I am glad to be back. I know I wasn't here last Thursday. You're doing a little traveling back and forth to, handle family affairs, but I'm glad to be here today.
Nice. And of course, joining us for the first time, you've seen him in the audience here and there, but we have Chonko Comics making his 10/11 premiere this evening. Chonko, good evening, sir. It is great to see you.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me.
So as we like to do, man, we're going to let you give the quick 2 minutes. Who the hell are you? Where the hell can people find you on the interwebs? And what is your channel about in your IG?
Chonko Comics and Nerd Culture is the name of the YouTube page, but I believe it's just YouTube/Chonko Comics. Make it easier for people. But yeah, I've been doing this about 7 months now. Started. It's I do a lot of unboxings, a lot of Golden Age stuff, and some modern variants and kind of modern good girl horror kind of stuff. But most of the stuff that I show it's like Hot Chicks and Monsters is basically what I buy.
It's a winning combination. It's one that you can almost never go wrong with.
Right. I think most comic collectors will agree. And I do that. It's mostly just conversational, just me kind of just talking off the top of my head, very like unscripted, and I do like opinions and unboxings and stuff like.
You're gonna see a lot of red dresses tonight.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Oh, red dresses, yeah.
Right, red dresses, women in peril.
There will be some.
Right. Oh, let's give a quick hello to the people in the audience. First thing, we have Steve White, my other co-host with the most. Steve, how you doing tonight, sir? Great to see you. David, good evening, sir. David, you got to get a hold of me because I want to get you back on the 10/11 in September. So email me, buddy. I was thinking of doing an album 10/11 with you. If you're up for that, email me. You have my email, and let's get you back on, buddy.
Yeah, he's got to have some good albums.
David's got a bunch of great stuff.
Yeah, I know.
He's an all-around collector. And
I know.
He collects a lot.
Nasty. How you doing tonight, sir? Hope you're doing well and on the mend.
Yo, Rich.
Let's see. And I gotta get him back on the show again too for another round. Matt Likes Comics. Good evening, sir. Great to see you. Matt. Another guy that why are you doing this to me? Don't freeze my chat. There we go. Matt Likes Comics. Good evening, sir. Got to get him on for a second one as well. Mr. Cliff on Comics. How you doing, Cliff?
Yo, Cliff.
He is the big red dog of the comic community, right? Everybody loves Cliff.
Yeah.
I hope you don't mind the Cliff on Clifford reference there, Cliff.
It's gonna kick your butt.
Brad, how you doing tonight, sir? Great to see you, man. Glad you could join us. Hopefully they don't call you away to work like they do sometimes. But I do appreciate you always catching those rewinds.
Right.
A lot of good conversation going on. Some guy named Digger Jim is making an appearance in there. I'll have to find out who that jerk is.
We need to definitely cut him. He's terrible.
Right? Well, Van Hammer's coming down.
Yeah.
Let's see some EC goodness. But, Chonko, we're going to kick it back to you, man. As people are coming in, I'll give them a quick tip of the hat. But tonight, the show's all about you. So start us out with your first book, sir.
Great. Was on a different stream the other night and was talking about a few things that I like just kind of offhand and became aware that a lot of people were not aware of the great Matt Baker. So I wanted to show some Matt Baker. Start off with a few Matt Baker books. If you're not familiar with Matt Baker, Golden Age, one of like my Mount Rushmore of artists, and probably the very first noteworthy Black American comic artist. From what I understand, originally people had no idea. I mean, all the artists were relatively anonymous, but he's mostly famous for good girl art. So the way Matt Baker drew women, and a lot of times specifically hair and figure kind of thing. So I was going to show you. Yes, it turns out. So this is All Top number 16. This is from 1949, and the great Matt Baker, an underwater cover with where she's fighting the octopus.
That's amazing.
And
I mean, I've seen Matt Baker stuff. I have never seen this cover.
A lot of he does.
Yeah, I have here.
He did some others like Seven Seas that are where it's like real flowing and like a lot of motion and
I'm a sucker for an underwater cover. Like I'm a sucker for underwater movies and underwater monster movies, but I'm also a sucker for a good jungle girl.
This is a great one. This one was came up on Bry's. Bry was selling this and was really, really happy to be able to work a deal out to get this one. But yeah, the kind of good example of the great Matt Baker.
That's amazing. I just love the angle, the perspective of the octopus going up and her like just trying to escape. It's really cool. We were talking the other night how just people who draw horror just kind of understand body language a lot better than a lot of other artists sometimes.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of that, especially when you look a lot of these golden age books. It's really like even just like the backgrounds and how much movement or the story that's being told, even sometimes without any words, is always. Sometimes there's words, but like this next one there is.
Well, and the expressions too in the faces. That horror artists usually can draw expressions a lot better. They can really delve into emotions.
Well, I'll show some examples of that foreshadowing. There's some really cool expressions that'll be coming up. But this is another Matt Baker. This is one of my favorites. This is something I wanted for some time. One of these came up and it was an incomplete copy. And I was talking to Steven about it, and he was kind of like, "Are you really sure that that's the one you want?" And I'm like, "Yeah, probably not. I might not be happy with that." And the very next day, this one came up, and so I was glad that I didn't the day before buy the one. But this is Wartime Romances number 16. I think it's the cake cover. You'll see why. But she is saying goodbye to her GI boyfriend or husband. But it's
a butt shot.
Yes, it's worthy for the cake, and she's saying, or he's saying, but honey, there isn't time, honey. But there isn't time, honey. My battalion is leaving for the port of embarkation, and she's saying, I won't cry, Bob, but I know you love me, but please come back. And it's the joke that I say with this is he has to leave this behind,
right? Exactly. Well, when he gets home, he can have his cake and eat it too.
Right. He has to leave this behind. He has to leave this. So
I know.
Right? Shake for like, what's the age of that? Like, what's the year that was?
Sorry, I didn't say that. This is 53.
53. Yeah.
So, and
that's another cover I've never seen.
That's a big one, and that's like one of there are a handful of big Baker books. Like the biggest is probably Phantom Lady 17, which is there's some controversy saying that it wasn't only like it was a collaboration. Because it seems like the woman's chest was enhanced. Maybe it wasn't the way that Matt Baker normally draws women, but that's the most famous probably Baker. And but then, in my opinion, the second best of the Phantom Lady 17 is an extraordinarily expensive comic. I would like to own one someday, but it would probably be a restored, copy or something. But
right.
But Phantom Lady 16 is also really, really great. It's other than 17, I really think it's great. But this is Phantom Lady 16 from 1948, and again, the great woman cover with the guy with the gun
to the side. Yeah, that looks amazing.
Yeah, the hair is always amazing. But in a Baker, the figure is always amazing. Like he was undoubtedly one of the greats. And as someone pointed out in the chat, he died really young, 37.
Yeah, and even the little bubble face. There's a lot of emotion on her face, even in that little thing in the bubble.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, it's these all this whole family.
There. Even that little part tells a story.
Yes. Yeah. The true crime story narrated by Phantom Lady. Like this would be Phantom Lady here, right. The brunette. And then this would be some crime scene that she's narrating in this specific book, Pre-Code Crime. Good girl.
Now, I wonder why they've never brought her back. Like if the family owns the rights to Phantom Lady, or if
they have, I believe in DC.
I just assumed it was a different Phantom Lady.
Yeah, it is different. I mean, they've revised, and it's not quite like this, and I would argue not as cool. Like,
Right.
they're not doing these really, really kind of, super intricate, beautiful covers anymore. But
Right.
but yeah, some of these characters will come back. Yeah, Steve is
Yeah, I mean, you
completely
can
correct.
see the similarity in their art.
Yeah, with Dave Stevens is awesome. He was very much influenced by a lot of this old pinups kind of stuff. I think most people saw, his fascination and friendship with Betty Page was for his entire life. Before he even met her, he was, which I think I can imagine if you saw Betty Page when you were young, you would be fascinated for most of your life. Matt is correct. Matt knows everything about DC, but yeah, Phantom Lady belongs to DC now, and they've published stuff with her, but
Yeah, she was
probably
in the Freedom Fighters
Yeah,
or
there you
something
go.
like that.
There's two
Might be.
copyrights on Phantom Lady. One is lapsed, and the other belongs to DC.
Yeah, I think it's Phantom Lady. I think it's Freedom Fighters, because it has like Uncle Sam and somebody else in it.
Yeah, it's one of those characters that it would be cool to see them do kind of that retro throwback kind of style, but nobody's
Well, they
doing
had
that.
a Lady Phantom, but it was the Phantom's daughter, so that's a whole different type of Lady Phantom too.
Yeah, I don't know that one. I was it any good, or
I haven't read. I have an issue here. Like it was like a one shot. I got to read it.
Okay,
Her costume looks cool. She looks cool, and the book has it's a
Yeah.
solid like $8 to $10 book for a character nobody knows.
yeah, I'll have to check into that one for sure.
I made a short of it a while, like maybe last month.
Oh yeah, I'll take a look. I mean, it's just I wish they would bring more of this pinup kind of style back. It's one of the things I really like. There are some artists that are Sveta Shubina is an artist right now that I'm into from Ukraine who is fantastic at this pinup kind of style. If you can get a hold of any of her stuff, it seems like it sells
about
out.
the pinup style too is they do a lot with the background still, where like the portrait style of today that people like to do, they keep not putting anything in the background. It's here's the portrait. It's like, give us some background too. It adds.
Yeah.
Right, it enhances the character.
I mean, there's a time and a place for a blank background. Sometimes it works really well, but not every single portrait cover.
And I don't have a huge problem with digital art, but it might be overused now. Having things be flawless and perfect, and where it's like super realistic and glistening and stuff. Where I like some of that, but this throwback painted style it's just cool. It's cool to have painted covers. I think that's coming back.
It is. I mean, it's great, and you see a lot of that going on right now with one of the guys who's always been doing it forever is Alex Horley over at Titan Comics. He's been painting a bunch of amazing Conan covers.
I'll show a painter that's going to be one of my spec a little later. I'll show some cool painted stuff that I think people will like.
Yeah.
But first, how about some horror? I teased
Absolutely.
it. So I'm going to do crime suspense stories. One of the great kind of EC titles was pre-code horror, pre-code crime. It's kind of both. But my favorite run of 3 in that was 22, 23, and 24. So I'm going to go in backward order, starting with 24. These are really classic covers that I think a lot of people have seen. But this is Crime Suspense Stories number 24, and it's the dude cut up in the bathtub. Another guy with the crazy eyes holding the axe.
Nice.
Yeah, so disposing of the body, and it's a George Evans cover, and again, Crime Suspense Story is one of the ones that really pushed the envelope with EC, and we'll show a few others why where it gets
Right. Well, the thing is, they just didn't care. They just put whatever they wanted on that cover, but it sold.
I think Bill Gaines did care. I think he was in the background telling these artists, no, more, go harder, because I mean this stuff was outselling superhero books by like exponential.
No, I meant like they didn't care about keeping it PG. They just let's do this and we're gonna do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, go as hard as you can, and I think a lot of that came out in the Senate hearings later. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, if you're a teenage boy, like this, I would have been collecting this stuff. Are you kidding? Like,
you're not gonna walk by it on the shelf and not want to look inside and read it.
Right? Yeah, I mean, it was wild, and this is another George Evans cover. This is Crime Suspense Stories number 23. So, counting backward, another classic. Red dress in distress. Bad day to be wearing red in the good old golden age. But she's wearing the red dress, and he is choking her out in the rowboat with it's like a tire iron. I think he's got wrapped in a.
That's almost like movie posterish.
It almost does.
Yeah, and it's a story's being told here. It's not a good story. It's not It's not fun. But you know, the part of the appeal to this, to me, for these types of things was, like, you know, Leave It to Beaver is on television, and then the kids are at home buying these things, and you know, the parents had no idea that their kid had this
messages coming along the way.
Right. It's like way beyond, like, and for years after this, nobody, you know, I mean, shortly after this, the comics code comes into effect. So we didn't see things like this for decades later. Yeah. And, you know, here we are in this time where everybody believes it's completely innocent, and it turns out it's not. It's, you know, there's still this kind of degenerate covers that are out there in these horror comics. Speaking of degenerate covers, going backward, we're gonna show the big one.
I don't consider them degenerate covers. They're horror stories. Right. You're either going to be a horror story or you're not going to be a horror story. You know?
Well, yeah, some of them did get like, and this is kind of the big one. This is one of the big, you know, handful of pre-code horror covers. Wally.
These scenes are sure
well. I can even hear him say it.
Yeah.
Golly beef. But yeah, so this is Crime Suspense Stories number 22, one of the most homaged covers of all time. I think everybody's familiar with this one. But yeah, it's the great Johnny Craig, foreshadowing Johnny Craig. And it's this. It is the decapitation cover.
Right.
This is famous. So this was held up in the Senate hearings to Bill Gaines, the publisher owner of EC Comics, and the senator saying, "Do you think this is appropriate for children?" And like Bill Gaines had like the worst possible answer. He's like, the blood isn't red. You can't see your whole body. He starts like equivocating and be like, well, it's not that bad. And then like the next day, this was on the New York Times. Like the New York Times had a story, them showing this cover. And then of course panic ensues. Parents are made aware of like a lot of what was going on. They were kind of made aware a little earlier.
He should have said, "This isn't for kids. I'm writing adult stories. This is for adults. Parent better if you don't want your kid reading."
Yeah, that's what he should have said. That ain't what he said, though. I guarantee you that.
Wrong guy to talk. You should probably have the lawyers talk. Maybe
right.
Yeah, you're not representing the brand well. But yeah, this shortly after this and after those hearings, a lot of the comics companies got together. They started the Comics Code Authority voluntarily. Comics were in real trouble. Could have been banned. And it wasn't long after that EC went under. I think the only thing that survived out of everything from EC was Mad Magazine. Magazines were not affected, but yeah, the brand EC, once the Comics Code was adopted, yeah, it was bad news for EC. They couldn't do their bread and butter. They weren't involved in the adoption of the Comics Code. Probably left out by choice by the other publishers. But yeah, this effectively, this is the nail in the coffin of the golden age, and silver age starts with the adoption of the comics code.
Wow.
So important for a lot of reasons. My copy's a 1/8, and it's like got this label that Ronald Johnson from Pinckneyville, Illinois, put. It's like a sticker label that the kid put on, which is it's funny, but it's kind of cool too that there's a certain provenance. So like in one way, it's like, dude, you read my comic, but the other way to see it is Ronald Johnson kept this in good enough shape that I'm able to enjoy it many years later. So shout out to my man Ronald Johnson for keeping this around.
Good job, Ronald.
Yeah, you took care of your comic well enough. So then I was going to show something I just recently got into, some more pre-code horror, but this is really, really like this is like where you start to like swirl the drain, and you're like, if you start going down this rabbit hole, it's a tough one. But a couple of months ago on Alan's channel, Comic Collector Geek, shout out Alan, everybody subscribe to Alan. He had Yaniv on, who's a dealer, and he's a dealer who deals in a lot of these kind of really rare comics. And toward the end of the stream, he showed something in a box, and I was like, whoa, what is that? And we he showed it. I talked to him offline a little bit. I was looking it up. I've never seen it before. Couldn't find anything on it. And it's this title called O Terror Negro from Brazil. And these are reprints of American horror comics with different covers done by an artist named Jaime Cortez from Mexico. These are all painted covers, and these are super, super like ghosts. So like I wound up a guy on Instagram, International Comics. He has had some of these, but these are really, like I said, like when I say rare, I don't mean like, hey, there's 2,000 of these. I mean like one. That's it. So like this one is a 1 of 1. This is the only known copy of O Terror Negro, number 49. It's a restored 3.5. Again, Jaime Cortez cover. It's this cool Dracula painted cover.
That's crazy.
Oh, wow.
Only one on Census. And there might be some floating around Brazil, like raw copies or something, but these things are real ghosts. Like, I have some where it's like, they're like the Census is in the 20s or something, but this is different. And they always have these cool like back covers and stuff. But but the main thing is how cool these Jaime Cortez paintings are. So now I've like,
new artist for me. I never knew about him.
It's something that I just found out about, and I'm into this stuff, and now I'm kind of like swirling like I said, the drain, finding these things, which is it. And another one from International Comics, again, shout out on Instagram, good dude. He had this one. This is O Terror Negro number 41 from 1954, and again, 1 of 1. This is the only one on Census. And it's this really cool cover with the dude, like the scientist with the hypodermic needle and all these. I don't know if this is like, but in the smoke, there's like demons,
right,
and stuff floating around, or I don't know if it's hallucinations, or because I don't know if it's like a drug cover. I don't know what, but it's really wild, all painted, and so this one, again, I reach out, we talk. The difficult thing is like you don't even know what's the right offer. Like what you have to set the market. It's not like you can refer. Yeah, you can't refer to like past sales because they don't exist. They're just, it's like I believe International Comics is the one who slabbed these. So what do we had to kind of talk it over and figure it out. And really, really cool. I'm really happy to have it. And then there's this one, which is, if I'm going too fast, slow me down.
It's your show. You go at your pace. Have fun.
Okay.
Just have fun.
This is the one that Yaniv had for sale, the one that I saw in the box that started this whole thing for me, and regrettably now has led me to looking for comics that don't exist. Like, so, when we talk about like this next one's number 70, there are some in this run that no one's ever seen, like, or no one's ever seen, outside of Brazil. Like there are gaps where there are none on the Census. So you know, who knows, maybe floating around Brazil, but even then, it's like, you know, my understanding is like comic collecting isn't huge in Brazil. So there might be some collectors or museums or something that have these, but I don't know where they are. But this one is Otero Negro number 70. It's the one that started this for me. And there are 2 on census. And when I started talking to International Comics, he has the other one. So he has one, I have the other. This is a 0.5. It's a 0.5 because there are 2 pages missing. But it's this. It's this crazy witch cover.
Cauldron
and they're
cover.
boiling some dude in this pot. It's so
That's cool.
stupid. It's crazy. It's like, it's amazingly fun, you know, and yeah, these evil witches, and all of these are painted by the great Jaime Cortez. So talking to Yaniv, I guess Jaime Cortez is known as the Alex Schomburg of Mexico. He was prolific in the Golden Age. I didn't know about him. I just found out about him and because of these, and now I'm like addicted to what he was doing. He did a few titles, but just like brilliant. Like if these were on like American comic covers, like people would be like,
it'd be insane the want for them.
Yeah, and like even the back is kind of cool. Like it's this Emocio, another comic I guess that from Brazil, and it's like saying Emocio, Misterio, Suspense, and these kind of like, you know, cool like little drawings and stuff. And yeah, I love these. There are some other ones that you can like eBay. There's a couple, but really really expensive ones, and I think it's only International Comics that has some of these. I think he got it like a collection, and that's how he's the only other person I know that owns any of these. So he is selling some, but the other ones are extraordinarily expensive, and I'm tapped out for now. I can't go after those right now.
Come on, you got one more kid.
Yeah, I just
you know, Ryan Magic Lasso has a connect in Brazil. This guy he knows.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, because he's found some crazy
Wonder Woman stuff, like
really?
Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Like stuff
that I'd neither Gary or I had ever seen, and because it's a Brazilian cover, so I want to reach out to him and say, hey, does your guy know anybody that has this?
Yeah, if he does,
Andre.
I mean,
His name's Andre.
Yeah, Andre. I couldn't remember his name.
Yeah, it's I if he gets in touch with me, I absolutely would be interested, and I would make sure I put money aside. I did skip over something when we were talking about Lee Elias. I got too excited to get to the other stuff, sure. And I wanted to segue into something. So this is something I just got again from Yaniv. Yaniv just had another claim sale over on Alan's site, and he was showing some original artwork, and he showed a piece of original art by the great Johnny Craig, and I was like, oh wow, that's huge. And I contacted him the next morning. I watched it on replay, and I was like, hey man, is that Johnny Craig piece still available? And he's like, no, it was bought. And it's turned out AG, I don't know if anybody knows AG on here, but he's a friend and he bought it. So, but Yaniv had some other stuff, and he's like, hey, I got another Johnny Craig, and it was less expensive, which is good too. This is an unused cover that Johnny Craig did. So it's something that he drew and wasn't adopted. It was like it's got a B on it, so maybe a B design, but it is this wild thing. I mean, sorry, try to do it.
You're all right.
Yeah, what's happening? There's a body stuffed in a freezer, and the woman has found it. She's opened the freezer and she's dropping a plate as she sees it, and the murderer is behind her with a knife, seeing that she found the body. So she's obviously next. And this is original art.
Need a bigger fridge.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess you could make pieces fit.
Right.
Knowing the golden age. But yeah. So I was able to get this. I just got this last week, and really earlier this week actually, and I'm really happy about it. This has to get framed obviously now, but
right.
this just landed recently. So one of my prized things now. I wanted to show that along with the Johnny Craig stuff. I just kind of forgot.
Oh, that's amazing.
Skipped by it.
That's some old original art too, right? So that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, unused. I mean, if it had been used on a cover or something or a splash page, I would never be able to afford it. Like that stuff goes for like $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. He had a original cover from a Phantom Lady, and I believe the price tag was like 70 or 80,000 that he had on that one. So no, no, not me, man. But yeah, those are my 10. But I did have I was gonna show them kind of my spec play, and it's so there are a few artists that I've gotten into recently. One is Sveta Shabina, who I talk about. She is in the Ukraine, and she's does amazing pinup style art, and she's actually like in a really dangerous area in the Ukraine. Like she has to like send her stuff out to her manager, who gets it to the U.S., and it's really complicated for her. The other artists, though, that a couple other artists, but one of the artists I'm really into is Suspiria, and Suspiria is from Spain, and she's now living in Toronto, and she's been on with the Beyond Wednesdays guys. She's really super cool, and she does a lot of like covers, but also like horror movie posters. Right. And like I said, I mean that's what she specializes in, is that kind of stuff, these cool painted things. And she did something for the Beyond Wednesdays guys. I'm setting up the one that I think is the spec play, but just for San Diego Comic-Con, she did these G.I. Joe covers, and one of the ones she did is this. It's this really cool Baroness that she painted, and it's like a 1 of 250 that San Diego Comic-Con exclusive for the Beyond Wednesdays guys. They had a booth this year, and the cool thing about this is a self-portrait. This is what Suspiria looks like.
You're gonna have to send me links to both of these artists.
Yeah.
If you look Suspiria Land on Instagram, and Shabina, I think it's just Shabina. I'll send it to you on IG for sure. But another thing I just got from Suspiria was this. This is original Suspiria art that she did for a novel. So this was for like a horror or mystery novel. I should have a little gracious. Sorry,
yeah, that's great.
There, but I just sent it.
Again, it looks like a 1970s horror poster.
I was going to say the same thing.
From a movie, you know?
She's awesome. And I'm trying to get her on for an interview. We'll see if I do talk to her occasionally on Instagram, but she's become very busy. Like once the stuff has started to break. And so the spec play that I just wanted to set it up was, I think if you look right now at stuff like Jenny Frison, her early stuff, or Mark Spears' early stuff, a lot of that goes for a lot of money now. And this is something you can get relatively inexpensively. It's The Me You Love in the Dark. And this is the first Suspiria cover. And so as a spec play, you can get this relatively inexpensively if you were to get it on eBay. And it's this is one of 500. So this variant, this Suspiria variant, again, first art she did. So I think as a spec play, I think more people are going to start to understand how great she is. And I think inside of a couple of years, this would be a good one to look at. I don't blame me if it doesn't go through the roof, but it's just was my spec play.
As long as they don't I always feel like they overdo these artists. I mean, it's just like, they bust out and then they're just everywhere.
Yeah.
Like I could not see another Mark Spears cover for the next 6-7 years and be okay with it.
I love Mark Spears. I love him as a person. I love what he does.
I mean, and I'm happy for him because he hit it. He's hit it now, and he's super popular. but his books are selling for way too much. But for him, cash in. Well, you can cash in, man. You've done your time. You've earned your spot.
He's definitely been around a lot longer. But like when you get these artists that just pop up all of a sudden and they're like, come out of nowhere and they just say, "Oh, can you give us like 50 covers a month or something?" It's crazy.
Well, I mean, I think it's hard, like when you're Suspiria and you're painting. I don't think she could ever do that. Like,
no,
Mark Spears is doing a lot of digital. Like, I know he'll do like an initial sketch and then he does it digital, which is one of the ways that he's able to pump out so much. But when you're talking about somebody like Suspiria or even Shabina, where it's like it's done by hand, I don't think there's any way she could do 50 covers in a month. So I think it's going to remain relatively unsaturated. I think she's going to get more popular. I think she's going to be doing more mainstream stuff. But I think I think it'll remain relatively uncommon. Who knows?
Well, I mean, it's like when they did Peach Momoko. She was all the time. For a period there, she was nonstop. Every book wanted a Peach Momoko cover, and I just looked at some of them going, she doesn't have enough time in the day to do it, and she's not doing it well, and it became oversaturated. Right. And now, I think people are like, okay, I'm over that, But flavor of the month.
I hope that doesn't happen, and I hope people don't write off great artists just because they're bored with them. I reject that. I think that you could say the same thing. I mean, there are artists who over time they kind of lose it. Like, I'll tell you what, I don't want anything by J. Scott Campbell now. I think what he's doing is awful. Like, I love J. Scott Campbell stuff early. I mean, sometimes it's age catching up to you, right? Like Frank Miller is clearly infirmed.
Yeah.
Like,
let's call a spade a spade. It's Frank Miller. Okay. I mean,
Yeah. Peach Momoko was a good point, because I think she's always been spotty. Like, I think she's always been either like hit or miss. Yeah. I think you look at some of her great stuff and it's amazing, and you look at other stuff, even early stuff, and it's really kind of mailed in. And some people
where she excels at and where her passion is horror. Like, when she works on a horror title, that's when her art really shines.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's true.
Well, it's the style. It's the style has to fit the book. I've always said that. I mean, there's some times where you look at like Todd Knott covers. Todd Knott covers, man, he even makes the adults look kind of like children, and it just
Scotty Young
it doesn't fit the book.
For years I can't stand that block style of Romita Jr.
Yeah, I mean,
too, but
still I think that you can make a lot of the same criticisms of some of the greats that they're like, if we were around, like talking about this, in the 80s, would we say, Wrightson probably shouldn't do any more horror covers? I mean, can you imagine somebody saying something so stupid? Like, somebody said that. I know someone said that, and they're like, I don't want to watch. I don't want any more Wrightson horror covers, or I don't know. It just, I think that I don't want, especially in this age where there's so much digital and so much AI stuff going on, for traditional artists. I hope people embrace that, and they don't look at it as like, this is too. I don't know. I want people to.
The exposure level now is different from back then, right?
True.
Because now once an artist gets hot, he or she is at every company doing variant covers.
Right. That's what I'm getting at.
He didn't really have that before. He's like, all right, I'm the cover artist for this series. These are the covers I'm putting out.
Right.
But, it wasn't. Now it's, all right, so, like, I'm a big fan of Lucio Perillo, right? But, he's on almost every Dynamite book. He's on a bunch of DC books. He's done Marvel books. So you get these artists, and like Carla Cohen, Selena's getting there, and I love Selena's stuff. Her work is gorgeous, but they're with every company and a lot of variants on the titles.
Yeah, I mean, again, I mean, yeah, I hope but I guess my point is I just I really like a lot of these up and coming artists. A couple Perillo and Carla Cohen, again, two who are working in traditional media when they're making their covers,
and such realistic body types with Perillo. It's amazing.
Yeah, and they're aren't they married? Like is it Carla Cohen?
I think they're a couple. I don't know if they're married.
Yeah,
I think my favorite artist married couple was probably going to be Boris Vallejo and Julie Bell.
Oh, yeah, I love Boris Vallejo. I mean, yeah, I mean Boris Vallejo did. There was a time where he did get maybe a little too bodybuildery, you know, and kind of stuff. But yeah, he's fantastic.
That's what happens when you're an artist in the '80s.
Yeah. Well, that's true. But he also is following. He's following the great Frank Frazetta, and you know it's which I like Vallejo, but it's hard act to follow. I mean, when you're in a lot of those titles where you know he takes over when the great Frazetta, you know, kind of moves into other stuff, it's a lot of Boris. I love Boris.
I never thought of him as taking over for Frank. I just thought they're two distinctive artists. I think the same thing of Ken Kelly. I think the same thing of Earl Norem, some of those old greats. You know, Ken Kelly was obviously a student of Frank, but you know, Earl Norem has some of my most favorite painted covers of all time. And he just worked on all sorts of books from Erie all over the place. And, you know, but whoever the hot artist is at the time, people do like to compare him to them. That's for sure. Especially when you work in the same medium.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough, you know, you kind of get shoehorned.
Yes. And yeah. And at that time, you know, doing really intricate painted work, you know, when there was a lot of, I mean, let's be honest, there was a lot of goofy stuff, you know, really, you know, one-dimensional, you know, kind of silly covers, you know, that were out there on more of the mainstream stuff. And you had, you know, these really cool painted magazines and stuff. I think it was like a sharp distinction. I mean, between especially and a lot of the independent stuff, which I kind of like, but was really cartoony and one-dimensional, and then you had these kind of cool three-dimensional painters, you know, more traditional painters.
To your point, though, I do agree. It would be a shame to see some of these great artists get buried by overexposure,
or have people like, you know, I think there's just like, I just feel like what's happening with a lot of Marvel and DC is just it's inferior quality to what we used to have, and when you look at it, it's not very good. I mean, the stories I don't think are very good. There are exceptions. I mean, but there are, I think the art is lacking too. I think it's not, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to
a lack of quality because stories are told differently in every generation.
Right.
And all the social issues are different for every generation. I mean, the golden age gets a lot of knocks sometimes because of how silly some of the stories were and just how nonsensical. True. But it was a time where whimsy was needed, where everything was so dour. You had to escape into those books for some fun, for some laughs, for some lightheartedness. So that was a reflection of the times. You know what I mean? And it's tough to judge. No, you're good, man. It's a conversation. You can talk when you want to talk.
I just the thing is, and I was making this point on my channel a little while ago that, you know, that my feeling on a lot of Marvel and DC is it's just multiversal bananas goofball stuff where it's like, hey, we can do whatever we want now with any character, and we can have 8 different copies of that character, and it's lazy, and it's and we can change the narrative. And Mary Jane's now a superhero.
Like 8 different forms of the same character kind of gets a little old.
I just don't like it. I think it's lazy, and I think they explain stuff away too easily. Like, oh no, we just changed it now. It's different now. We're going to change canon, and they just do it at the drop of a hat and on a whim, and it's just like, oh, nerds, get used to it, nerds. Who are you to complain? And it's like,
I feel like that about the symbiotes. Everybody gets a symbiote.
Yeah.
It's like it's
not special anymore.
Yeah. Right. So every person gets a symbiote.
why can't Mary Jane and Peter Parker be a couple together where Mary Jane is not a superhero? Why does that? Where does it say that everyone has to be a superhero? And why? I don't understand it. I don't like it.
And that's something I don't like that they do with Spider-Man. Is look, just look when Spider-Man worked the best, right? Spider-Man, MJ's his anchor. No matter what happens to that dude during the day, he goes home and she's in his corner and she lifts him up, and she is his backbone. She is his team that defends him. When everything looks the bleakest, MJ's there and picks him up.
Right.
There's a certain humanity to it, like where there's this part of
and that's her superpower, the way she lifts Peter.
Spider-Man, you know, one of the great appeals to Spider-Man was always that he had real human struggles and real, like, you know, how am I going to pay the bills and you know, like, you know, relationship stuff. And obviously, you know, he has to get a little older as they go. But why I think that what happens in a lot of the modern books is I think the multiverse stuff is and just explaining stuff away that it just happens that way. We just changed it because that's what we wanted to do. I think it's lazy, and I think it's I don't know. I mean, I'm probably just a crotchety old man yelling at clouds, but you know, I think you're
right in the, stay off your yard. Don't worry.
I think you're right there. I think there's proof is in the numbers. I mean, look, the Ultimate Spider-Man book is crushing it. I mean, it's selling out. I mean, a lot of people are still reading it. You know why? Because they aged him up. They gave him a normal, you know, this is a whole different Peter Parker that kind of people were ready for. I think that people are just ready for that. They had to age him up eventually. It would look ridiculous for him not to be older, and then you have Miles there. I mean, you have to age up Miles to a degree too. I mean, he cannot stay a child forever.
Well, see, that's my main rub with the movies, though. Like, why can't we just have? We don't need Peter Parker in high school every new iteration of Spider-Man.
Well, that's
right. Can you just make him a teacher at Empire University, have him married to MJ, and
real human problems?
And then go. You know?
I think there's like honestly, I think this is one of the reasons why I think what Image is doing is way better than the big two. Like when you look, there's a reason why Invincible is great, and it's because of a lot of the same things that made Spider-Man great. And he you know, there's a human aspect to it that is lacking in a lot of the modern comics. And the other one that I can't talk about enough is Cold Day in Hell, the Daredevil story. The 3-issue run that they just 3-issue like micro series it's the best thing I've read from Marvel in years, maybe a decade. It's way, I mean, it is kind of the you know, like in the future kind of a thing, but they might have to do that to do anything original, but it's like old school storytelling. It reminds me of the Dark Knight. It like, it's, you know, again, you know, like human limitations and you know, real. Yeah, I like it a lot. And the other one I really like is Battle Beast. Like I didn't collect Invincible. I did, you know, but I knew enough about it and watched the cartoon. But Battle Beast is like just like violence and bloodshed and searching the universe for somebody that can whoop you, and then he's just beating all these aliens and then eating them. It's amazing. It's just like there's no like let's do a let's do an examination of late stage capitalism in this comic book. It's like no, we're fighting and I'm going to eat you if I beat you. It's great.
No, we can rehabilitate him. We can turn him good.
Turns out there's no chance of that. Yeah, or he's a bit, you know, there's not a huge big character design to it, but I love it, and it's like, you know, it's great for exactly what it is, and I'm happy about it.
Nice.
But I guess my last thing is a story about a comic.
And we went on quite the tangent, didn't we?
We did.
Sorry, that's my fault. I started being a grumpy old man.
Here all the time. You're good, Chonko.
Yeah.
So I've been collecting comics for a really long time with gaps in between. Like I collected when I was a teenager, and then I went off to the military and didn't collect, and I didn't collect for a while. And when I got back, then I started buying up keys kind of in early days of eBay, and I would just read like a lot of like collections. I wasn't really collecting. I would get like trade paperbacks or omnibuses and just read like that way for some time. And I really got back into collecting maybe 2.5 years ago and that's really when I started in Golden Age and a lot of that stuff. But I did keep a lot of my stuff from when I was a kid. A couple of the things I didn't keep, but in 1987, went to the Chicago Comic Con with my dad. My dad did not do a lot of stuff with us. He was a bricklayer. He was tired all the time and angry. I imagine he was stressed and stuff. But
living a hard life, yeah.
Yeah, that time he did. He went with me, and there were a couple notable things. So at Chicago Comic Con in 1987, this was, I believe, was the might have been the first time Mobius came over to North America. So the great Mobius from Heavy Metal magazine and the Heavy Metal movie, and Jean Girard, a traditional painter who made his way into comics. He just started doing work with Marvel at the time, and so he came over and he did some graphic novels, and he started working on Silver Surfer. So this is what I got at that comic convention. It's the first Mobius graphic novel, and there is this. This is Mobius for Mike, 1987. This is signed and remarked by the great, rest in peace, Jean Girard Mobius.
Big ass remark.
Yeah.
Wow.
And yeah, as I remember the story, I was just asking him to sign it. I was I don't know, 16, 17 at the time. And so this, I don't know if this is supposed to be a sketch, was what I looked like as a teenager, no beard and whatever, but he did the sketch for free. He just, I asked him to sign it. I remember he didn't speak English, so it was all kind of through a translator, but I was like blown away that, there's an original drawing.
Right.
But I hope you'll humor me just for the last.
Absolutely.
Oop. Oh, I'm back. Did I lock up for a second there?
You did.
You did.
I wasn't sure if it was me or you.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. But I'm back.
But we're back.
The other thing that happened at that comic convention was my dad and I went in on a comic, and I was telling him, Dad, this is going to be a really important comic, and I'll bet it was like $150, maybe $200.
Wow.
And he went in on it with me. I had my money that I was a busboy at the time, and I had saved and brought to the comic convention, and we bought a Hulk 181. And I in the military, I had two big comics. I had a a Spider-Man 129, and I had a Hulk 181, and I sold both of them in consecutive years to buy Christmas presents when I was in the military, and got totally taken advantage of by dirtbag local comic shop. Just
right.
I go into rants sometimes about back then the comic shops and I always take exception when people talk about how benevolent the local comic shops are, and I have to tell them stories from back then, how they really were back in the day. But they totally took advantage of me. I needed the money. I sold them, and now getting back into it, the first big book I was able to buy was a Spider-Man 129, but this year I was able to finally replace my Hulk 181 with a copy that's the most I've ever spent, and it was kind of a broken part of my past. Selling this was a really horrible emotion. This is better than the one I had way back then, but those are a couple stories from 1987 Comic-Con in Chicago.
Right, and they have more than monetary value. They have an emotional value to you for the connection. That's great.
Right.
Yeah, the Mobius is like when people talk about things you would save in a fire. That the Mobius book is precious.
Nice. That was a great story. Great book. Holy cow. That was a lot of fun, Chonko.
Thanks, guys. Thank you for having me, and thanks for humoring me. I know. Again, I went off on some tangents, and I apologize.
No reason to apologize. Tangents are expected, and even
encouraged.
I
do it all the time.
But and it's what we want, right? We're here talking about things we love. Mm-hmm. I want you to get excited or get emotional and talk about things that mean something to you. That's part of what this is.
Right on.
Right, Terry. But no, don't ever feel bad. And hopefully you'll come back for another show. Yeah.
Always. Yeah.
But we're gonna do like we normally do. First, we're gonna go around and see Jim, what do you have going on, sir?
I'll be putting out some shorts. I haven't been doing a lot of videos lately. I have some art. I just wish it would come. I'm struggling. I get this original art, and you have to be patient, and I have no patience. And I'm like, dude, this should have been here by now. I'm thinking to myself, but when it comes, I'm definitely going to do a video on that because it's like you said, it's an artist that I found at Heroes Con that I really like, and I plan to get more stuff from him. But
what's the artist's name?
What's his name? See, I knew you were going to say that. It's
sorry. I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Yeah, so I'm sitting here going, it's like Brandon. He's local too, and that's what bugs me. He's in Charlotte. Why do you do that to me? That's terrible. Brandon. Why do they keep saying Brandon? No, I can't find it. It's Brandon something, and I can't find it in here. But he is. Yeah, it's coming out. It's coming soon, and I can't wait to show it because it's probably not Brandon, and I'm saying the wrong name. But
you'll have it on Instagram, and people will then know who it is.
Yeah, I'll have it on Instagram, and I'll have it on. I'm probably gonna do a YouTube because I want to do a YouTube video. Plus, I bought some other stuff that that is not a fame, not I'm going to do an art one eventually, but for the meantime, it'll just be a lot of shorts. I haven't been out digging. It's just too bloody hot. We get where I live in Maryland, we've had very little rain, and I'm just not going to do it. This is kind of the time where I'll usually start doing research for the fall. I'll look for places. I'm like, okay, I want to go look and see if somebody will let me dig here or let here. So in the fall, that's when I start doing more digging because it's cooler weather. The ground's softer. Well,
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Easier to bury the bodies.
Right. All of those things.
All right. So next week, coming up for me, we have the return on Tuesday of Milt from Flowers Comics making his YouTube comeback. So he reached out. He's coming on to 1011 for a new episode. And if you guys haven't caught any of Milt's older 1011s, this guy has a collection to rival anyone else's collection. Wow, it's amazing. Cool. When he did the board game one, I'm still wild that he brought out a board game from 1906.
Wow,
yeah,
that's cool.
That was crazy,
and it looked great.
It looked mint.
It looked ready to play. But so we got Milt back, and then we have Big Hearn coming on the 22nd for his second appearance on the 1011. And cool. But then we'll probably try to line up some in the hot seats soon. Do some more interviews. We haven't done interviews in a bit, so we might do some of those.
Nice.
We've had a lot of guests on the 1011. We might invite some of you guys back and delve into your comic book collecting history and what got you in, and do a deeper dive into that. But with that, we always go with our guests last to lead us out. So, what is coming up for you, Chonko?
A big giveaway. When we started tonight, I was at 550 subscribers, but 555. I am doing a giveaway, and it's going to be good. Like you're going to get your choice of there's 3 slabs, and then some raw books. But like the slabs that you get to choose from, all 9/8, Spawn #1 in a 9.8, a Hulk vs. Sentry #1 signed by Bill Sienkiewicz in a 9.8, and a Absolute Batman #3 Delato variant signed by Gabriel Delato. So you get to choose whichever of those slabs you like the best. And then I'm going to throw in some other stuff. I do have some Mark Spears that I'm going to probably throw in raw books and some other cool stuff. Some just other like kind of cool variants that I think people will like. And yeah, and it's just literal name in a hat. We'll do once hit the 555, and I'm going to be on with Matt Likes Comics coming up. Matt, I don't have the date on hand. If you want to drop it in the chat, Matt. And then yeah, every Saturday I do a stream with Big Nasty. Happy Big Nasty's doing well. He had a little bit of a scare. Everybody, I hope you subscribe to Big Nasty and say hi. Glad he's doing okay. And we're going to do the stream on Saturday, and we're going to have the great and powerful Brian McClay from Beyond Wednesdays on. And we're going to interview, and I really want to hear Brian's story. Another one of those channels, everybody should sub up. If you're not watching Beyond Wednesdays, you're missing a lot of the really, really kind of cool news on newer comics, and always has publishers on, and different people like controversial figures and stuff. Really good stuff that they do over there. But yeah, just a shout out to that. And then yeah, I usually drop like 5 or 6 videos a week. So
nice. All right. So with that, like I like to do, first I want to thank Jim, my co-host. I always like having an extra voice on the show with me. Thank you, Jim, for always being here, buddy.
Yes, sir.
And okay, and there's no show without a guest. Chonko, thanks for gracing the channel and coming on and spending some time with us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
And of course, to the audience, thank you guys for showing up in the chat and having a blast and fun with us. And for those of you catching us on the rewind, both of these gentlemen's links are in the description below. I made it as easy as you just got to click on the link and go to their channels and IG pages and follow and sub them up. So go give them a try. You might find your new favorite content creator. And as we like to end these things, we're going to say thank you so much for watching and keep it casual.